Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
So, you know, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
I know more about cooking dinner for a party of 12 than about packing a lunch for a 12-year-old. I know kids like things like fish sticks. Fillets, I get, but sticks? Maybe we can just compromise on mac and cheese. Can you make that with Brie?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Foreclosure is hard on every member of the family, but your family is not alone. If you're struggling with your mortgage, there is help. To learn about the government's Making Home Affordable program, visit makinghomeaffordable.gov or call 1-888-995-HOPE to speak to a HUD-approved housing counselor. It's free of charge. Visit makinghomeaffordable.gov or call 1-888-995-HOPE today. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, NeighborWorks America, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that birthday parties help build confidence in kids?
Yeah. Did you know that giving kids less sugar before bedtime helps them sleep better?
Oh, totally. Did you know that friendly kids have more friends?
Everybody knows that.
Hey, guys, did you know that most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
I didn't know that.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right car seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome into 209 Sports. JD, Jeff, Dominic with you, along with Kyle. Kyle, what's going on, man? Where are we?
Where are we is exactly right. Jeff, we are live on site here in Stockton.
Yeah, Amblers Club, and we're going to have the Anarchy at Amblers show.
Say that fast 3 times.
No, thank you.
Okay.
But this is a live wrestling event that, thanks to Andrew Arch, has set up for us. I mean, good friend, Stockton, California native. He's here going to do the television championship. So that's what he's in the main event for.
Nice.
So we'll see. And it's 209 Street Fight. It's called the 209 Street Fight. He says he never loses this.
Okay.
Very interesting. Okay. Looking forward to this.
So that would really hurt his image, so to speak, from the local 209 boy to lose the 209 Street Fight.
Guys from Omega walking by. I guess they're the heel. I'm still learning this because let's be honest. This is not very televised. This is still a work in progress in the promotion side of things. So still learning on who's the heel, who's the good guys. Well, I'm sure that we'll find out who those guys are as we kind of do our broadcasts today.
Yeah.
But watching this today has been very exciting. I was here watching these guys set up. You came in a little while later.
Yeah.
You were probably here, 5:30?
Almost 5:30, yeah.
Well, roughly, so it was an hour and a half before show. You caught the very tail end of them kind of doing a little bit of warm-ups in the ring.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff goes into making sure that they're hitting their mark.
Yeah.
One wrong mistake and somebody can get hurt. So these guys are trying to be as professional as they can and make sure they're hitting the right spots.
And it goes a long way. I mean, as much as you want to go on the inside of wrestling, you start to look at some of the things that happen, which is, as one of the guys from Omega is over right next to me, that's kind of scary, isn't it? No, but seriously, you have such respect that goes into everything. These guys, some of these guys were just showing up. Boys were giving, they were giving hugs, the bro hugs, or whatever you want to call it, where they slap hands and then they kind of, embrace for a quick moment. But these guys have a lot of respect for one another. They have a great, I say respect, but also just a great association with each other, that they just have so much fun in the ring, outside the ring, and you can tell that a lot of this stuff is genuine, and that you kind of have to detach yourself a little bit to the acting side of the aspect.
No, absolutely. And, a lot of, for guys like this, who a lot of these guys are just showing up from work.
Yeah. Work full time.
Work full time, and then they're
part time.
And they're coming to hit a show on a Saturday night. And you got a nice little crowd going on here.
No, it's packed. I mean, there's probably at least, for a show like this, there's probably at least 100. I don't know what 100. From rear angle, I can say probably 125, 150.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
And that's a great crowd. And I bet you if there was an opportunity for more, there still might be more throughout the night tonight.
Oh, yeah. No, I can see the potential here, and, you can just see the look on these guys' face when they're walking around, how excited they are, and how much they appreciate this little bit of opportunity.
So you saw Andrew Arch a couple times, and he knows that he's the main event tonight. Did he look nervous? Did he looked a little bit focused tonight, right? Because he was giving us some information, and he was.
Yeah, he looks really busy, and he looks like he's in tune for cruising for a bruising, so to speak.
Yeah, he's 209 Street Fight.
Yep.
So there's Andrew Arch
there.
So it's kind of it's going to be a great moment. I'm very excited about this. This is no way, shape, or form is this makeshift.
No.
This was very well planned. This is
a lot of effort by a lot of people, and they're just fighting to have a good time, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're very honored to be a part of this. I'm very excited to see how this show starts, because they should actually be starting now at 7 o'clock. It runs from 7 to 9:30. So if you're in the area, come on down.
Yeah.
Look up the TWF Wrestling on their Facebook page. Big dudes, little dudes. This should be, there's a big Samoan guy walking by us. There's just, and when I say big, he's big. Damn. But on the other side of this tonight too, we've got a lot to talk about. We haven't been on the air for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing our best to not be sidetracked of what's going on inside the ring. What the hell is that? Oh, he's a Viking. That's what that is. Okay. I said I wouldn't try and be sidetracked. Squirrel! But anyways,
Jeff did not think this through, folks.
No, yes, he did. This is all entertainment right here. All entertainment. But there's a lot of things to get to. We've got Pacific Baseball to talk about. We got Tiger Woods to talk about.
Wow.
All of a sudden, relevancy? Maybe. Why not? Might as well.
Tiger's always relevant. As long as he's got a club in his hand, he's relevant.
I guess. Not for the last 5 years, but all of a sudden,
you know
he's
what?
in a swing back. Maybe he's not the best golfer in the world, and I used air quotes, but he's getting there. Maybe we're starting to see what, wouldn't say Tiger of old, but we'll say Tiger of new / what we're accustomed to.
Listen,
Linda.
You compare the ratings,
Linda.
Oh, from with Tiger on a PGA Tour or without?
I'll say this. Thank goodness they have people like Jordan Spieth, guys like that. A lot of people still want to watch, but
yeah.
Tiger makes a different element.
He does. He brings a whole different element because he was so good for so long, and it's just like every time he used to step on the golf course, it was expected that Tiger Woods would win. And now that he's he's fighting his way back. Let's see. Here we are.
Uh-oh, what you got to talk? What's that? Well, we're doing a live feed. So we had a guy just come by asking if we were doing a live feed. He's going to come by a little bit later. Maybe he'll come and do a quick chat with us. All right. So there he goes. He just said he'd come talk to us. So there we go.
That's awesome.
We're going to have people coming by all day long. So it's a very entertaining moment. What you got?
Oh, Tiger's tied for second.
There you go. After day 3.
After day 3.
So he's in the running.
He is. So you're saying there's a chance?
Always saying. Once again, if Tiger's right, we're always going to have an opportunity.
Tiger's only one shot back.
Oh, he's been one shot back the last 2 nights. It's been what was it, 5.5 years since they were talking about him even being, or no, it's been 392 weeks since he even had a part of a lead.
Yeah.
So I heard that stat yesterday. So that's pretty great to hear his name again. Will he win a championship this year? We'll talk about that later. I want you to think about it for a little bit. Well, I think we know the answers, but what will it take? Things like that. We got Pacific Baseball to talk about. We got baseball in general to talk about.
Yeah, spring training's just about over.
Spring training.
Going into the regular season here real soon.
Within about 3 weeks, roughly. I mean, April 3rd or 4th is when it kind of gets going. So, you got to be careful when But we got LeBron James back in the news. Apparently, there's a story out there that he's picked 4 teams. Now, he says that it's not true, but yet somehow we get a story out there that there's 4 teams that are involved that may get his services next season. So I digress.
I don't care who gets the services as long as we don't have to sit through another one of those deals where he did last time when he went to Miami.
Oh, with Jim Gray and all those other guys. We're going to talk the Olympics. And I'm going to tell you, man, I was thoroughly impressed. For as little advertising as they did, unless you had something with your cable company.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a cable company attached to it, we didn't see a lot of advertising for the Olympics. All we just knew is that they were coming.
Yeah. No, they were, and
I was thoroughly impressed, personally.
You know, when I would catch the Olympics on a channel, I was sucked in instantly.
Yeah.
Whereas we didn't win as many medals as you would like to have seen, but just the idea that they were putting up a good fight, and the names that were expected to win did win, and the names that were hoping to win put on a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were some good shows. There were some that we were like, to be honest, I won't know the names. I mean, I couldn't tell you the names,
right?
But I could tell you the ideas of the events that there were and things like that. And I'll look up the names. I'll try and have those ready to go. But that's what I was talking about, is that there were some cool things that happened that were beyond belief. And I think there were 2 events in my mind right now that made me go, actually 3, to be honest, that just made me go, wow, that's...
You know what I got sucked into?
What?
Was the...
You get sucked into curling?
No.
I'd have been like you and every other freaking American in the world.
But I did get sucked into the bobsledding.
Okay. You know what? I like that. I do like bobsledding.
And the lunging. The luging or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
lunging,
yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
I got more sucked into the X Games style of stuff, the snowboarding stuff.
Sure.
That's just me, though. I mean, I think that's
always easy to watch.
Yeah.
But you watch some of these guys and the speed in which they're traveling down these hills with the control that they're coming down those hills with, and it's like, my God.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's that. What else I got for you? There's going to be, we're going to talk Tiger Woods. Oh, there's a pay-per-view event tomorrow. Just so you know. So we got wrestling, but we also have a pay-per-view event that actually is WWE.
Okay.
So we go from TWF to WWE, and
we can't talk a whole lot about it because we haven't been following it, to be honest with you.
I did just enough, and that was it. I mean, it was like, we were talking about it the other night. It was like, I can tell you who's in the main event match.
And here we go.
They are getting underway. While they get underway, we're going to take our first break. Coming up next, Pacific Baseball is in full effect. What do we make of the first 17 games of the season? That's coming up next on 209 Sports. Back here on 209 Sports, JD Jeff Dominic along with Kyle Hauk, and we're hanging out, and we got our first guest already tonight, and it's Vinny Massaro. And how you doing, man? I mean, welcome in.
I'm just, I'm here in Stockton, California, and I just love. I live in the 209, so it's always nice to come out and drive 5-10 minutes to do a show for this crowd. If I could stay in the 209 all the time, I would love it. But I'm hoping we can get this build up a little bit more. Someone's gonna talk on the ring behind me, but
nothing new.
But we're trying to build up the name here in the 209. Currently I have a training school.
Okay.
That we do teach at the Stockton Fairgrounds, and we have another ring in Lodi, and I'm the head trainer, and it's called 209 Pro Wrestling. So if anyone wants to come and train, go to at the Twitter at 209 Pro Wrestling, and
perfect.
Come train. If you guys watch Lucha Underground, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, we have.
Yeah. It's on El
You're
Rey.
wearing that now. I can already tell.
It's on El Rey Network. I just came back last weekend from filming the season 4. So season 4, we're coming back. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm the guy in the East of Pizza in the bathroom at Lucha Underground. So you guys can come and check me out. I'm on Twitter at Snoring Elbow. If you guys want to come and drop me a DM if you want to come train in 209, because like I said, we're 209 is about to blow up.
There you go.
It's not just jiu-jitsu and Nick Diaz. It's going to be pro wrestling pretty soon.
Oh, I hope so. And so talk a little bit about your match tonight. Who are you taking on? And is there any stipulations? What is it? What is this match about tonight?
It's funny that because my opponent tonight is Phil Baroni.
Okay.
He's a UFC fighter, so I'm here to show that pro wrestling can beat an MMA fighter. So I will prove that to you tonight. I will prove to all this, everyone here that 209 is not MMA, jiu-jitsu. It's pro wrestling also. It's CACC. Catch as can wrestling. Is alive and well, and I'm here to prove it that I can beat a UFC fighter.
So how long have you been in this, doing this? Is that a bad question? Because it's probably been forever.
It's a bad question because it's just going to show how old I am. But this is going to be 21 years of professional wrestling.
Okay.
So granted, you're like, what the heck, is he like 50 years old? No, I started when I was 16. Okay. So that's not as bad as other people, but I started training in Hayward, California for All Pro Wrestling way back when it was Michael Modest and Ron Alexander. So I've been doing this a while. I've wrestled many guys around the Bay Area, all over along the United States and Mexico, and I'm here in Stockton because, like I said, I love the 209. I work in the 209. I live in the 209. I want this place to become pro wrestling.
So, Vinny, what that does is it doesn't make you 50 years old. It makes you about the same age as both of us.
Oh, thank God. Because everyone's like 20 years experience. I'm like, dude, what the heck? How about you retire? I'm like, okay, well, come on. I started when I was like 16. I know there's, some people have started when they were like 30, and they're like, 20 years in, they're 50 years old. So I'm like, and I'm blessed to have, not have too many injuries in my career, and I don't smoke or drink, so I'm not as old and rugged as other professional wrestlers.
He's straight edge, folks.
I don't know about straight edge. I'll have a beer every now and then, but I'm not like a hardcore drinker or anything like that. So, I don't look like holy crap, what the heck has this guy been doing? So at least that part's good.
What got you into this? Was there a wrestler that you like to emulate? What got you into this?
Honestly, for me, it's always been Mitsuhara Misawa. When I was young, I started watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I watched Tiger Mask, and then lo and behold, a few years later, I realized that the Tiger Mask that I was watching was actually Misawa, and then I started watching All of Japan, of course, Noah, and he's had amazing matches. He's like literally, to me, he's like the best wrestler that I've ever witnessed, and I feel blessed and happy that I actually got to wrestle him one time about 10 years ago in Fairfield, California. His very first U.S. debut. I got to wrestle him, so that was kind of cool for me.
That's cool. how did you get started in it?
You know, honestly, I just kind of like you guys. You know, pro wrestling. I just always thought it was just some weird thing, like, you know, that people would just are picked out of a crowd to start learning. I never realized there was actually an independent show where you can go and train. So, you know, just reading like news, you know, news boards online, like back then. Again, showing my age, was like AOL, you know,
dial up,
you know, so Grandstand, you know, those wrestling forums, and I just realized that there was, you know, something called like ECW, and I'm like, what the heck is that? It's like, well, so there's actually more than just WWE and WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized, holy crap, let me do some research, and I realized, holy crap, there's a pro wrestling show half hour from my house, and I went to go check it out, and it was all pro wrestling. It was the very first Gym Wars show that I went, and that's when I met Roland Alexander. He told me, you know, we actually have a training school, and I was like, by God, sign me up. And I lied. I told him I was 18, but I was actually 16, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. That's great. So you've been through a lot of matches, obviously, in your 21 years of doing this, and so we won't talk about the age factor, but what are some of probably the most memorable matches that you've been a part of? I mean, we've already talked about one, but have there been any others that you love?
I mean, I think obviously, you know, I think one of my most, you know, fun moments I've ever had was in wrestling for the King of Indies, when you know, in 2001, where I got to wrestle against Low Ki. You know,
wow.
I mean that tournament, that whole entire tournament, it had like AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe. I mean, it had like, you know, a lot of people in it. You know, if you ever want to watch, if you just want to watch before those guys, you know, made it to the big leagues, there's King of Indies 2001, and lo and behold, I'm in there. Like 21 years old, scared of living crap, but you know, I was in that tournament. You know, wrestling Misawa, obviously, you know, was big again. And then, you know, just recently at Lucha Underground, I got to wrestle Pentagon.
Okay.
You know, he broke my arm, but you know, that's a different story.
Cheap shot.
Yeah, exactly. I get to wrestle Brian Cage at Lucha Underground, and just wrestling in that building in the temple is actually an amazing place for me. You know, it's like nothing I've ever, you know, experienced, and I look forward to having you guys watch season 4, which we're just about ready to, you know, finish taping, and then, you know, hopefully it airs in a few months on the El Rey Network.
Well, once again, as much as you just advertised your Twitter, our Twitter at 209_sports. So if you have an opportunity, we'll kind of look you up, see if we can follow you. And
I'll go ahead and look it up right now and follow you guys.
Perfect. Lastly, I mean, as you get ready for this match, I mean, what is your mindset? I mean, how do you train and get ready for a good match that is Anarchy of Amblers?
I mean, it's kind of weird because, you know, Phil Baroni, he's not a pro wrestler. He's a MMA fighter. So, honestly, I'm just going to hope the best that I can grab him, slam him down, and just get on top of him, because there's no way I'm going to survive a punch. I mean, he's been punching for 20 years. I've been suplexing for 20 years. Oh, somebody just won.
Wow. All right.
Surprise pin.
Like I was saying, you know, he's been punching for 20 plus years. Well, I've been suplexing for 20 plus years. So, you know, he may punch me, knock me out, but I'm sure I can suplex him and take him down.
Well, Vinny, once again, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck tonight. Have a great time, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
All right, buddy. Vinny Massaro hanging out with us, and he's going to go ahead and get ready for his match coming up here fairly shortly. So, once again, this is 209 Sports live at Amblers. And so while we were talking about that, Kyle, we'll kind of motion back into where we were just at. Apparently we had a win, and
we had a sneaky pin. Somebody's a little upset about it. Nothing like a sore loser at an event.
209_sports?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's again. Yep, that's us. Right on, man. Thank you. So, but anyways, Pacific Baseball has been, you know what they did here just on Friday? And Shelby Lackey, I put this out there. Shelby Lackey, the pitcher for the Pacific Tigers, needs. Oh, there it is. All right. Shelby Lackey deserves an opportunity to be nominated for Player of the Month. 19 innings, 1 run, 16 strikeouts, 5 walks. The kid's dealing.
That's a pretty good month.
Not only that, he's also he just went up and went into a no decision against the number 12 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. Went 7 innings, gave up 1 run, and went into a no decision. The Tigers wound up winning that game 2-1. So, just saying. But
somebody's balling this year.
They're 7-9 in the season. They're just doing, talking to Coach Garco, which, I can't say enough about what he's done here over the last couple of, 6-7 months. But he's doing his best to make a program, and he said it. Pitching is just not going to be the strong suit, but if you can rely on guys like Lackey and Ricky Reynoso, there's going to be they can stick there. Now they just got to find a way to hit.
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden the hitting is become the issue. And I'll tell you what, you want to talk about I told you about this the other night, and I'll go ahead and bring it up again. That game against Nevada, that was a long night.
Right.
Going into extra innings, 11th inning, but you're down 3. You give up 3 runs, no outs. You find a way to get through it. And then you go and take 4 with no outs. And I felt the best. I mean, I didn't know who to feel best for at that point, but Lucas is my boy. I call him the originator of my dudes because he's been, I've known him since a freshman, coming in here. Now he's getting ready to graduate. And to have a game like he did, to get that confidence that he has right now, big deal.
Yeah, well, baseball is a lot of mental to it, and if it's in their head and they're unable to play the small ball and move runners around, that can really mess with your head.
Yeah,
as a team.
Absolutely, and so they're still trying to figure out the way to make the hits, but to be able to get big hits, and then also come out with a win after going down 3 runs against Nevada in the 11th, which could be completely demoralizing. Yeah. They found a way and made it happen. So,
yeah, no. From just speaking with you, I'm looking forward to the season as we move further into the spring.
Well, we may be doing one show live from here there's an LMU game. We might do the show right after in the press box.
Oh, nice.
See if you want to come down and hang out for a little while.
Fly ball
to right and caught. When we come back, so if it's true that LeBron James has selected 4 teams that he might go to, who makes the better fit? We'll talk about that next on 209 Sports. Back here on 209 Sports, JD Jeff Dominic along with Kyle Houck. I'm watching this kid in the front row. Apparently it's his dad is the one that's wrestling right now. And he's screaming, "Daddy! Daddy, get him, Daddy!"
As his dad just got body slammed.
He got a little quiet after that. But oh my goodness, hanging out at Amblers, the Amblers Club, the Anarchy at Amblers, and what a show so far. I mean, it's been a great, entertaining show. Thanks to Vinny Massaro, hung out with us just a moment ago. A lot of new information coming through. We're going to talk some NFL here in just a moment, in a little bit. You just got some information. That's a big deal,
man. We're going to talk. If you're a 49ers fan, that's a big deal.
I'd be, and that's going to be something I've got to talk about. But we'll talk about this first. How scared are you of the Los Angeles Rams?
Doesn't matter how scared I am. Everybody in the NFC West better be scared.
Are they the best team in the NFC?
No.
Still put the Eagles up there first?
You have to. Look at the Eagles have made just as many moves.
Yeah, they got Michael Bennett. Excuse me.
Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
They've added.
I keep wanting to say Martellus. He's the tight end that plays for no longer Patriots.
Yeah, he was just released.
Yep.
So he could very well be in Philadelphia as well.
He never. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting. Two brothers.
Yeah. But no. I think that the Eagles have been on the warpath just as much as the Rams have. The Rams are taking the approach of this is their time. They got 3 more years before they got to pay Goff.
Yep.
And we all know what happens.
Technically 2, but the 5th year's the option. I get it.
Yeah.
We want to go there. Usually they sign it by then.
They'll franchise tag him one time, and
they'll do something.
They're going for it.
Yeah.
They're going for the gusto, and why not?
So this signing for the 49ers is a big deal. I think it puts a big-time need at the cornerback position, so you already know what I'm pretty much talking about if you're already just checking in. But anyways, is this probably the craziest signing period you've ever seen in your recent memories with the NFL? I mean, it's pretty hectic right now.
It's been pretty hectic. I mean, so much for the tampering rules, you know what I mean? I mean, for the release of all the information that's gone out as far as this person's traded, this has been accepted, teams are not waiting.
No.
And they're not taking any chances. It's almost like they're walking a gray area with a lot of the deals they're making right now.
Well, and a lot of the things, the actual NFL New Year does not start until Sunday. Well, sorry, Monday, the 12th.
No, the 14th.
14th?
It's the 14th.
I thought, okay, I know where I was at with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, the 14th. And so I'm just pretty amazed that all this stuff is going on this quickly, this early.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't wait for anything. You know, it's like
I've got some jokes to talk about with this signing too, because it's pretty really.
If it's the case, for him to go to the 49ers the way he acted with the 49ers
against the 49ers,
it's kind of comical.
So while that is still in the process, and we'll talk Kirk Cousins. We got plenty to talk about NFL-wise. I felt that. I think the whole area just felt that. We're probably up to about 175. We're getting close to 200 people here. But anyways, what also might be one of the most interesting off seasons is the NBA, and where may LeBron James go? A report came out just probably Thursday that he may be going to 4 teams. Have you heard about that? And I'll give you the 4 teams in a moment.
Well, I already know what two of them are.
Well, yeah, you would assume LA is one of them.
The Lakers, Philadelphia.
Are we sure it's LA? Lakers. There's a good chance it could be Clippers, because he didn't say which LA team. It says LA. And I'll talk about Clippers in a moment.
The LA Clippers that just got rid of Doc Rivers.
We'll talk about that in just a moment. That's part of the reason. So
I don't see where it would work in LA.
Where would the other teams be?
Well, Philly.
Okay.
Cleveland.
And Houston.
Houston, really?
Yeah, I put Houston in there.
Really?
So could they make it work? They could make it work. But it would be interesting putting Chris Paul, because Chris Paul doesn't have to no longer go. He can either stay with Houston or next year or this offseason, he could re-sign with the Los Angeles Clippers again. It wasn't a bad breakup. He could always re-sign. So if he goes back to the Clippers.
But wait a minute, didn't he sign his max deal and then get traded?
Nope. So as he goes to the phone. But regardless, he can go back to the Clippers.
Okay.
You can team up LeBron James over in the Clippers. They've still got a lot of young talent.
Yes.
I think that could be a bigger fit. Steve Ballmer's the owner. He has a great, outstanding relationship with Jerry West.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't?
So there's a possibility of a fit there. And you know Steve Ballmer, all he wants to do is win.
Yeah. He ain't worried about no luxury tax.
No. He has a very similar mindset of the Cleveland Cavaliers owner, but with the exception of he's just not a jerk.
Yeah.
And he may be a jerk. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know him personally, but the mindset he has is that he obviously wants to be around a lot of other people and willing to keep his. He kept Doc Rivers on as long as he pretty much could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so the fact remains that he could. It's a possibility that LA team he's talking about could be the Clippers.
It could be, but I don't see it. I just don't see it working. The Clippers have gotten rid of a lot of people, a lot of, they've moved some people around, and I don't see a lot of opportunity in Los Angeles with the Clippers. I don't see him going to the Los Angeles Lakers due to the idea that there's nothing interesting there. You got a lot of young guys. You got nobody established, really. And he's not going to go back and play with Isaiah Thomas.
No, he won't go back with Isaiah. But Isaiah's a free agent too.
Yeah.
So it could be, and we just had another victory. Another pin. And one guy in disbelief.
Yeah.
Grabbing the mic. I'm sorry. We have a little bit of dead air. I was just very. We told you, everybody. We warned them all. It was going to be a little bit of sidetracking going on. I didn't hear what he said. Well, I guess.
Talk about Rio Mania, April. How about we just this, Joe? Rio Mania, Sacramento, California. Oh, yeah. You got it. How about we do a no DQ match?
No DQ match just got announced right here.
You want to get in? You want to get in? Yes, he does. You don't want to have to worry about the rules of being outside of these hoops and taking some sorry takeout. You don't want to have to worry about me picking up this chair and busting you upside your head. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we just are killing it tonight.
Yeah.
More dead air. I'm like, damn, we're not talking.
Yeah, no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Sorry, folks. We are piss poor radio hosts tonight.
No kidding. So, LeBron James. So, we talked about LA Clippers. He could go to the Lakers. That could be still, but I just don't see that. I mean, he'd be teaming up with. My problem with this is, and I don't see him going to Philly either, because he's got Ben Simmons over there. You got the ball-dominant players that are already kind of taking place in all these other spots. The Clippers kind of make sense. Because Chris Paul doesn't. If Chris Paul was to sign with the Clippers, he leaves Houston and goes to the Clippers, or if that whole scenario plays out and Chris Paul stays with Houston with James Harden and LeBron James joins, the reality is that you have two ball-dominant guys. You don't have. Chris Paul doesn't have to be the ball-dominant guy. He never has been. He might be the point guard, but he never has to be the ball-dominant guy.
That's the nice thing about Chris Paul that I've always liked and appreciated. He can be the ball-dominant guy at any given point. But you know what? He is a facilitator.
Right.
By all means.
And that was the same thing when LeBron James, we were talking about it earlier, when LeBron James went to Miami. The reality was that there was the big three, right? Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James.
Yes.
Well, Chris Bosh is not ball dominant. No. He didn't have to be.
He was the defensive piece they brought in.
Dwayne Wade didn't have to be ball dominant. He was always, his points came off of ball screens and everything else. So he never had to be ball dominant. LeBron James was always the facilitator in that team.
Yeah.
He went back to Cleveland. Him and Kyrie never meshed. Things like that. They still won a championship, but the meshing was still kind of weird. So, to me, if he doesn't stay in Cleveland, I could more or less see the push to two teams. I really think it's more like a three-team race. And Cleveland's like the bottom of the rung. And I see Philly and I see Houston.
See, I think Cleveland's at the top.
You?
I really do. He stays in Cleveland, he does what he wants. My name LeBron. This is my team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he doesn't talk to the ownership. He hasn't talked to the owner since pretty much he resigned.
Right.
That's to me that's kind of makings of a bad situation. Regardless of how things go. So it'll be interesting to see. The reality is that I'm kind of already like, really? We're talking about this and we still got like 5 months to go. July. But still.
Right.
Come on now. Kyle, just so you know, I traded you. Sorry, bro. I had to.
Well, I hope you got an upgrade.
The Browns offered me a 5th-round pick and a player to be named later. Never know. I might have been traded as well. That's coming up on 209 Sports.
One more time.
Well, apparently, Kyle, G4 sucks. Welcome back to 209 Sports. JD, Jeff, Dominic, Kyle Haug hanging out. Anarchy at Amblers. The TWF World Heavyweight Champion, I don't know his first name, but last name Lockhart, came out to
address the crowd.
Yes.
With his entourage.
But anyways, great entertaining so far. We're about 45 minutes in, and it's been a pretty good event. I've been very, very impressed for the budget that these guys run with, and it's been great. Breaking news coming into 209 Sports. Kyle was mentioning about it, but we were talking about it in the last segment. Sounds like Richard Sherman is signing with the San Francisco 49ers, a 3-year deal.
A 3-year deal, and that could be much needed help for the 49ers secondary.
They needed a cornerback.
Well, they need a couple more, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. Well, apparently you need 2.
Yeah, you need to have at least 2, but you're talking about a man coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah. He's turning 30. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
So my back says. Focus.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Show.
You got something going on. Okay. You had something you had a point. Continue. Richard Sherman.
I forgot.
Torn Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back.
Coming back. He's not coming back 100% right away.
No.
He tore his Achilles. He tore it early in the year last year. 3rd or 4th game?
Something like that.
So he'll make it back for the start of the season, but he's still not going to be 100%.
No, he's turning 30 years old. There's so many injury questions. But you know what? I was reading the story that he's played through so many injuries for the Seahawks during their Super Bowl run, during their other Super Bowl run that they wound up losing against the New England Patriots. Yeah. There was a playoff game that he was in between, and he got smashed between Cam Chancellor and a wide receiver, and his elbow got smashed. So, no, you're good. We got to ask for tape. But anyways, and he still played through that injury and wound up going to the Super Bowl, playing the next couple weeks later.
So and went to the Pro Bowl that year.
Yes. Well, he was selected. He was selected. Thank you. But there's the fact of the matter is that he's played through some injuries, and so can he be a benefit to the Niners? You know what, though? Anything right about now is a good benefit to the Niners, especially the secondary side of things. The Niners have a lot of good pieces. They need great pieces, and Richard Sherman may not be the quote-unquote great player right now, but he's definitely a solid player to be over there for that defense.
And he's a veteran leader. Yes, he has outbursts, but you know what? He can still be a leader in the locker room.
Yes.
And the 49ers need that. The 49ers need that more than anything right now with the young team that they have.
And the fact also remains that the Niners will, I think, in a lot of ways, have actually crept up above the Seattle Seahawks now. I think that you look at the teams that on the NFC West alone, it's going to be the Rams. I think the Niners are going to be there, and I think the Seahawks just got pretty much demoted.
I agree with you.
And the Arizona Cardinals will be running around there somewhere. I think both teams. Exactly. Both teams are going to be in the rebuild. I take a lot of respect to what Seattle did because I think they learned a lot from what San Francisco did a few years ago. Seattle basically said, "We're done. We're blowing this thing up." We're done. We're obviously our run's over.
Yeah, we're not going to waste any time.
The San Francisco 49ers and when the Trent Baalke era, they decided that, we'll kind of piece a couple of guys in here and hopefully it works out.
Right.
And it failed miserably. The Niners now are doing everything they can to figure it back out. The Seahawks said, nope. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll keep Earl Thomas around. It sounds like he'll be back next year, which fingers crossed. I love that guy. I think out of everyone in the Legion of Boom,
yeah,
he was probably the guy that made that thing run.
Right.
So hopefully he comes back, but he's going to be looking at a different secondary. He won't know most of the guys on that team. Yeah. He may know, not KJ Wright, but he'll know a couple linebackers. That's probably about it. Michael Bennett's not there no more. I mean, there's going to be kind of interesting. But as far as the Browns go, I think it's pretty crazy. Where do you put the Browns? What can you make of the Browns right now? They need a quarterback because they obviously have guys to throw to. They have Corey Coleman and Josh Gordon as your 1 and 2, right? Well, now you put Jarvis Landry, he's going to be your number 3. He may not be your number 3 wide receiver, but he's going to be your number 3 receiver as far as he's going to probably be in the slot again where he's more comfortable with.
Right.
He had one of his best seasons and one of his worst seasons all at the same time last season with the Miami Dolphins. He had 121 catches, but he was averaging 8.1 yards per catch.
Right.
Now he's going to be back in the slot. He'll probably average about 13 yards a catch. The problem is now you've got 3 good wide receivers. The Browns have the 1st and 4th pick. Plus a lot of cap room. Well, up until the signing of Jarvis Landry, they were one of if they signed Jarvis Landry to a long extension, they still are going to have one of the higher cap rooms in the NFL. Do they need to make that run? Do they need to make that run to Kirk Cousins? Do they need to make a serious run with that kind of talent? And that puts the first and 3rd round or 1st and 4th pick in the NFL into where they can pretty much have flexibility with that 4 and then maybe go after Saquon Barkley at the 1. You want to put that kind of running back out there as a number 1 pick, though?
Why not?
Because you can get Kareem Hunt or somebody like that in the 3rd and 4th rounds.
You could, but that's the question.
Or you can get Nick Chubb. You can
Michelle over
with both Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, I understand that. And
I'm just saying there's so many possibilities
but there's even more possibilities with the quarterback rich draft that we have coming into this year.
And you can really flip that around on me and just go, well, Ezekiel Elliott, 1st round pick. And look at it, he's done. I mean,
hey, listen, Saquon Barkley. You know what?
Is he a once in a lifetime kind of running back opportunity?
I wouldn't say that. I didn't get to see a whole lot of them. All I saw were the highlights, but I saw enough highlights to say, hey, this has got my attention.
Yeah.
And if you want to complete a team,
5 minutes, Kyle. I asked you for 5 minutes.
Shut up. You want to complete a team, you need a running game.
Right.
Okay.
Well, they have Duke Johnson, but Duke Johnson's a good wide receiving running back.
So is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Well, you have 2 receiving running backs now?
Why not?
Well, you got Alvin Kamara and you got
Henry?
No.
Derrick Henry? No.
Alvin Kamara and
Ingram.
Mark Ingram. Thank you. Over there in New Orleans. Both of them Mark Ingram caught a few balls last year.
Yeah.
And was able to be your runner. You put Duke Johnson and Saquon Barkley together
with maybe an A.J. McCarron.
Could A.J. McCarron be that guy?
He's got familiarity with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you excited about A.J. McCarron if he signs with the Cleveland Browns?
I'm excited for him. I'll say that because he'll get paid. Whether or not it amounts to anything on the field is still yet to be seen. He's been in the league, 4 years?
Closer, a little longer.
Okay, 4 years?
5 to 6 years.
Okay.
Because remember, there was 2013. Really? There was a 2013 year where he got put into IR.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. But anyways, the fact that the Cleveland Browns were making some serious moves, and that defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most underrated defenses. It was probably a top 15. I'm kind of putting 15 in there.
Sure.
He was a top 15. But the difference is that when they had no offense, their defense had to play a lot. So give that a little shot in the arm a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I use Kirk Cousins because I'm so curious about why the big need for him. Like everyone, he's going to get so overpaid, and he's a top 15 quarterback. He had the similar numbers of what Alex Smith had last season. Why is there such a high demand? Is it because he's such a marquee name that? Why'd you smack me? Because we're watching wrestling, you want to smack me?
Cleveland has been on the move. I forgot they picked up Tyrod Taylor too.
Yeah.
So technically, you actually have a quarterback.
Okay. But he might be a filler. I still think they're going to pick a quarterback in the top. I'll say they'll pick him within the top 2 rounds. They'll pick a quarterback.
I think if you're Cleveland, stop picking quarterbacks.
And you've got such a good situation though this season, this time around. I mean, you traded Deshaun Kaiser, which you know what, Coach Jackson over there, Hugh Jackson, he's done such a great job being able to stand by his quarterbacks. He said the same thing with Deshaun Kaiser. He's like, that's my quarterback. I'm going to keep running him out there. Yeah. In your heart of hearts, where does Kirk Cousins go? Supposedly there's only like 3 teams he's been applied to: Denver, New York.
See, those are the only 2 teams that I think he's really interested in. Is either Denver or New York.
You know what? And here's just my personal opinion. If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm looking at Cleveland. I'm looking at that talent base and those wide receivers I can throw to now. Josh Gordon is a beast. I don't care what anybody says, and I know he's had his issues. But Josh Gordon is a beast as a wide receiver. And you put him, Jarvis Landry, and Corey Coleman, a healthy Corey Coleman?
Yeah.
Yes, please. If I'm Kirk Cousins and I'm looking at those situations, New York Jets make a little sense only because they could do so much, put some decent pieces around there, and Jermaine Kearse is actually a decent number 1 wide receiver over there.
Yeah.
You put them, he could go there, but to me, Cleveland makes a lot of sense if I'm thinking of what team could win quicker. I say offensively, Cleveland Browns are not in a bad situation now.
No, they're not.
They're more relevant now than I thought that I would ever think that they would be.
Yeah,
over recent years.
They're making a lot of moves, and they have their longest tenure employee in Joe Thomas.
Yep.
Who hasn't made a decision on what he wants to do. He's talked a lot about if he can't play 100%, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Last year he took his first injury that actually took him out of a game. So it's still going to be interesting. I think the floodgates are going to open up this week for Cleveland and a lot of other teams. But I think that the biggest teams on the move are going to be Cleveland and San Francisco because they both have a lot of money to spend.
Both of them?
Both of them.
BOF-UM.
Yes.
That's our Bofisis talk.
Yes.
So let me ask you this before we go to our next break. Since 99, how many quarterbacks have the Cleveland Browns had? Don't look at your phone.
19.
Nope. 29.
Jesus criminy.
Yeah. So
I knew it was someone with a 9. Like 99.
So Kyle, I didn't trade you. I can't trade you. Your wife might want to trade you, but I can't trade you.
Yeah.
You right again. The Olympics are over, but possibly one of the most entertaining events I have witnessed in a while. Kyle may think so as well. We'll talk about it. 209 Sports. Be right back. Well, those boos in the background obviously refer to your TWF World Champion, it sounds like. But anyways, JD, Jeff Dominic here on 209 Sports, here at the Anarchy at Amblers, along with Kyle Hauk. Thank you all for joining us. What a great venue this was tonight so far. We're only an hour in, and you already have your one of the I guess what you could consider a big event. I mean, as far as one of the main events.
Sure. You got the TWF champion in the ring in a non-title event. You know, the crowd's really getting riled up. Everybody's up on their feet and having a good time.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. If you're, once again, you still got a little time to come on down, and place is a good setup. It's pretty well. It's got a good crowd. It's what you can always ask for.
It really does.
And to be part of this is a great honor here at 209 Sports. But it's been fun. It's a lot of events and a lot of athletes that, you can consider it how you are, because that's a big dude that's in the ring right now. But it's been fantastic. The Olympics are over.
Yes,
and it happened about a month ago. They finished off. But a big a lot of good events over. And you said you were big on the on luge and
the sledding,
bobsledding.
Yes.
What's impressed you? What impressed you? Considering, to me, the promoting side of things was very little, and was lacking something big. Like the Olympics just didn't say, "Hey, watch the Olympics."
Yeah,
it was like, "Well, hey, join the Olympics on Comcast," and it was like, "Well, yeah, okay, but
yeah, no,"
or Xfinity, whatever you guys want to be.
Yeah, you know, it definitely wasn't advertised like when we were kids. You remember when we were kids?
Yes.
It seems like when the Olympics came on, I was like, damn Olympics. It's like when the president came on. They're on every channel.
Yeah.
You know,
I wanted to watch wrestling.
No. You know, but, you know, a lot of Olympic athletes have really crossed over into the mainstream of their respective sports.
Right.
And
vice versa. Their sports have become Olympic sports events.
Absolutely.
So, it does. It brings to mind that when I was younger, when we were younger,
right?
You kind of look at that going. Not only did every event go on the Olympics, which is fine, but it was like, one, it would go whatever you wanted to watch it, but two, apparently the TWF champion won.
Yes.
But it also, it not only did it affect your cartoon time or whatever you wanted to watch, but the advertisements were always bigger.
Oh yeah.
Like literally, here's how they kind of subliminally put it in your mind. Geico put out the commercial, and I'm tired of the sumo wrestler ice skating. I'm tired of it. I saw 30,000 times watching that stinking commercial. Subliminally, they were doing it. But why not just come out and just say, why not the Olympics? The Olympics made money.
Yeah.
Why not the Olympics just advertise for themselves instead of having all these other people do it for them? Well, probably because they got paid to do it that way.
Right.
But I still say that you could have done it completely, or you still could have done some on your own. You got paid one way, still do your own commercials too.
Yeah, I think
it might have been something with the contract too. So,
well, you know, and that's another possibility. And the overall Olympics have gotten a lot of bad publicity lately.
Only if you're Russian.
Not necessarily that. What about the gymnastics girls?
I know.
And you know, and that's kind of put a black cloud over it. You know, not a lot of people want to be associated with that type of thing anymore.
No, you're right.
And you know, one bad apple can, you know, ruin it for the whole a bunch.
Right.
And to me, that's what I think we've come up against is you're coming into a time where the Olympics aren't the safest place to be.
But this was such a good event, and I wanted to use something a little bit longer because I think that event to me only lasts a day or two. Mm-hmm. This was a 3-week-long extravaganza, or 2-week-long extravaganza. They had opening ceremony on February 8th. Their closing was like the last Sunday in February.
Yeah.
So it was a couple-week event, and there were so many good things that came out of that. And you talked about bobsled. I think curling, I joked about curling earlier. For those that may be listening, thinking that I hated on curling. No, I joked about it. It was actually pretty fun to watch.
We won a gold.
It won a gold.
First time ever.
So it was cool to watch. But there's one one event that sticks out in my mind was, and I'm going to butcher the event, and I don't know the names of the athletes that won because they did such a great job. It was the alpine skiing. It was alpine skiing, and it was like cross country or something like that, where they were using the ski poles in order to push themselves and propel themselves uphill, downhill, and around. Okay. It was brutal. And in the last stretch, the American women won. It was a pair of American women. The final came down to she crossed the finish line and basically stuck out her skis just to win. And it was so cool to watch because they went to commercial break. The very next commercial was them showing her growing up in this little town. Yeah. And the town going over to this whether it be a bar or this cafe. Yeah. And they watch her win. And it was like that just happened no more than 25 seconds ago, and we're watching it again. Yeah, that's awesome. And watching her people and from what I heard, a lot of those were the actual town folk that she lives in. Right. Or lived in. Yeah. I don't know if she lives or lived, but I know she lived in at least at one point. So to watch that was pretty cool. Yeah. And I watched it, and that's the whole thing is I watched it. I don't know if it was live because being in Korea and Pyeongchang and me watching it at was like 8 o'clock at night. I don't know what was live and what wasn't. It's so hard to gather one of those. I watched a lot of hockey. And it was the men's team or teams, and I watched some women's teams. But the women's winning the Olympics, the Olympic gold for the United States for hockey, that was so cool. I thought it was so disrespectful for some of the Canadian for what they did. They just ripped their medals off. I'm like, I get it. You win silver, you're not going to be happy considering that you've been so dominant for so many years. Right. I get that. And some of you may not be back when the event comes back around in 4 years. So take your 2 golds that you probably won throughout your career, and your 1 silver, and enjoy your career, reflect, and have a great time. This women's team for the U.S., they probably are going to do the same thing. They're going to enjoy their 2 silvers and their 1 gold. Yeah. And whoever may be with the team next year, that's a different story. But it was such a great thing to watch. Show some pride. Swallow it a little bit if you have to, because it takes a little bit of. Yeah. I learned this because we did high school. I was at the high school basketball championships last weekend, I should say. Long weekend, but the very last game was won by Modesto Christian, and it was won by a 3-pointer from mid-court. The kid did not even notice that there was 2 seconds on the shot clock. His team yelled at him. He just flung it up, makes the bucket. They're up by 2 at that time, wound up winning by 4. The opposing team, I won't call them out because I just don't. They're kids. Sure. I get it. They're kids, and the emotion of being able to lose is hard. It comes with time. It's so hard to lose. Sure. It's easy. I say this. It's very easy to win. It's so hard to lose. Oh, I agree. And to learn how to lose is even harder. So, back to the Canadian side of things, I know you've lost before. It may not have been to this extreme. Yeah. Learn a little bit, lose a little bit better. Have some class. Yeah. I mean, really, come on. You're representing your country. Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't spit in the face of international. Yeah. Right in front of millions of people that are watching you. No, I agree. And lastly, Shaun White winning the gold to me was such a big deal. I don't know why, but I really enjoyed it. And I think part of it was being the X Games fan that I kind of am. Is he the GOAT? Oh, yes. For winner, yes. Okay. I mean, Dave Mirra, all those guys are BMXers. Yeah, okay. It's Tony Hawk, obviously. You can't, they have their own little extreme. For the winner in snowboarding, yeah, he's the GOAT. Okay. So I have to go with that. Sure. So, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the Olympics this year. I did too, and it was nice to be able to sit down with the family and watch sporting events and actually have everybody into it.
Yeah. You know, it kind of brought everybody together for, you know, a few hours at night when we get to watch it. So it was kind of nice.
You falling asleep on your chair or
so
things
what?
like that. I'm not. Okay. Hey, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Speaking of being into it, Tiger Woods, he's into it, and he's looking pretty good. So he's playing well. Are we ready to get back on the Woods wagon? That's next, 209 Sports. Right? You all right? Oh, it's time to go. We back now? Back here at 209 Sports. What'd you just say? We back now? We back now. We've been back. We've been back for a minute. Anyways, thank you all for joining us here as we're live from Amblers Club.
Styling and profiling.
Anarchy at Amblers. Very, very nice event. A great crowd. I mean, I'm still just...
Man, this is awesome.
I'm beside myself on how great the crowd was. And for those that are just tuning in, the fact that we were able to come in, watch these guys kind of warm up, practice a little bit, get right.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. And I think I can't thank nothing more for the TWF, the Total Wrestling Federation, and Andrew Arch, who got this all set up for us. It's been an experience that I will hopefully never forget.
Yeah, no, I agree. To see these guys and the hard work that they put in firsthand is always nice.
And once again,
it's kind of cool.
This isn't the typical WWE where this is what they do 24/7. 365, where they're on the road all the time. These are guys that are working full time and come do this for fun. Some of them do it for a little extra money on the side, or some of them do it just because they like to do it. They just like to do it. So it's been a great experience. We saw some guys from Omega. They say they're going to come on after a match, so we're looking forward to that. I come to find out that I actually kind of know the guy. We kind of crossed paths. It's a better way to say it.
Small world.
Exactly. So it's been a great experience. Tiger Woods is back in the news. Speaking of great experiences, Tiger Woods is back in the news.
For all the right reasons.
For all the right reasons for a change. And it's not because his back, he's gone out because of his back. And I won't knock anybody with a back issue because, one, you know all too well about back issues.
Yes.
I've been fortunate enough to not have to deal too much with back issues. And I've had them before.
Right.
Just more or less me strain, you chronic.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
It's just what it comes down to. No, not that kind of chronic. I'm talking about chronic issues.
Yeah, no, I got both of them.
Both of them. BOFUM.
My bad.
But knowing that.
Jake, by the way.
Hey, I'm Jeff. How you doing, bud?
I'm Kyle.
All right, nice to meet you.
Pony show, you see, I'm interrupting your web time.
No, you're good, man. You're good, brother. Oh my goodness, here's the other cool part about it is they're actually interacting with us at the same time. They know that we're here. We wanted to be kind of away from the event as far as. We didn't want to be the event. We didn't want to interrupt the event. We're okay with being off in the little corner, which is fine by me.
Yeah.
And having a couple wrestlers come by. Vinny Massaro came on a little bit ago. We'll have a couple of guys from Omega come by, who I guess I don't know if you want to call them the heels or if you want. I still haven't figured it out yet because we haven't seen the Omega guys from Omega come out and wrestle yet. But a lot of great things once again. Different referee this time.
Yeah.
His night's done apparently. But anyways, Tiger Woods being back in the news for, once again, as you just mentioned, the right reasons.
Yes.
One stroke behind. He's going into Sunday. We're going to see the Tiger red again. Wears the red shirt, comes in and tries to intimidate the field. I mean, is he that much of an intimidating figure once again? He's great for golf. Can we agree to that?
We can.
Okay.
But even Tiger will tell you he's not the intimidating factor that he once was.
He'll say that. But that's one thing. He says it, but does the field feel it?
I think the field with Tiger, because you got to keep in mind, this field that is playing with Tiger, hasn't really played with Tiger Woods.
Right.
They're not used to the media circus that comes along with it. You know? So it's I don't think they're used to it. I don't know that they're gonna, oh God, it's Tiger Woods. You're talking about Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy. These guys really haven't spent a whole lot of time on the golf course with Tiger Woods.
Well, so and it's a different field. It's not those guys either that are up there. It's rookies and guys that aren't the Jordan Spieths of the world now. Right now, in this tournament,
I think Tiger's goals are just to see how his body is recuperating, how his body is feeling. You know, at the end of a par 5, you know, coming out of a bunker, you know. How's your back going to feel when you're jerking it from the impact of trying to come out of that bunker? That's what he's looking for. I think that's what I'm looking for, too. Is it going to be a consistent comeback, or is it going to be a couple, 2 or 3 tournaments and I'm done again?
Well, it's going to be that. And the reason why he entered this tournament is because he didn't make the cut the last tournament. So, obviously, he wants to get more golf under his belt. Obviously, because the Masters is about a month away.
Right.
So, he'll probably be done after this. He may do one more. I don't know Tiger. I haven't called him. I haven't asked him yet.
Right.
But maybe I will. I don't know.
Let me shoot him a text real quick.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
But all indications would be that I would think he would play one more tournament in between now and the Masters.
Possibly.
So we could see the possibility of him wrestling. We could see him possibly golfing in another tournament. I think that this tournament alone, though, he's changed. We were talking about how much he changed his swing.
Yes.
Which, for the 18th time, I don't know why, but he changed his swing, and this one's been for the better. As of now,
he's changed his follow-through as well.
It's been more consistent.
Yes.
And so the fact goes is that he could, if this swing gets more comfortable with him, because he is fighting with now basically a restructured back.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he's having to change his swing. He doesn't have the pull-through and the drive that he's not hitting 350 yards anymore. He's hitting 301, things like that. He's not hitting as hard as he used to.
He's normal.
Oh my gosh, he is. So the fact is that he could, but the intimidation factor that the presence he brings could still play into this. There's going to be a lot more cameras on him. So whoever he pairs up with against tomorrow is going to be affected big time. He's used to it. He's been like,
right.
Come see me in 99.
Yeah.
I know how this works.
Yeah.
But those guys aren't used to it. I think that'll affect them more than we realize. And I think that's what brings the intimidating factor still.
Yes. Okay, then that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll go with that. But, you know...
Does he win tomorrow?
As much as I would love to see it, no.
Does he win this year? Maybe not. And I'm not talking about one of the majors.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I just want to see him consistent.
Just to be different from you, I'm going to say he wins tomorrow.
Okay.
Just because I feel like it. I don't have any facts. I don't have anything in front of me. I just want to be different. So... got another nice little match. We're gonna have an opportunity to watch it here because coming up next, it's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks since we've been here. Well, we've never been here, but it's been a few weeks since we've done this.
Sure.
I think it's time to be hella dumb. You want to be hella dumb?
I'm always hella dumb.
That's next. 209 Sports. Back here at 209 Sports, JD Jeff Domick along with Kyle Hauk. Hello. Hello, everybody. So far, so good here at the Anarchy at Amblers, the Amblers Club, providing this event, and it's right here in Stockton, California. The main event, Andrew Arch, going to come for the television championship.
In a Stockton street fight.
In a Stockton street fight, the 209 street fight. I don't know. It's Stockton street fight is more like it. I call 209, but that's because I've called Stockton 209 forever. So,
yeah, well, you know.
I know, Modesto, Turlock, all them places. Ripon, they're all 209, but still, you know where I'm at. Galt, I think some of them are still 209. Some of that area is. I mean,
yep.
Well, my bad.
Hey, what's the new area code in Sacramento?
216 or something weird like 208 or something random like that.
Something stupid, huh?
It is.
Is it hella dumb?
It's hella dumb. It is hella dumb. We haven't done that in a while. It's been well, because we haven't broadcasted in a while.
We haven't seen each other in a while.
No, we saw each other lately. We just haven't done this in a while.
Not really.
Well, we saw each other yesterday.
That doesn't count. You came up for a free meal and free candy.
Which I didn't take the free candy, if you ever noticed.
You left it in my car?
No, I took that free candy.
Oh, jackass.
But no, the other candy that one of my former coworker, your current coworker, gave to me, and I was like, I'm cool. I mean,
it's not even the good stuff.
I know, right? No, where's the Whisker Do's and Whisker Downs and all them other ones?
Hey, we got somebody going up top.
Check it out.
Hey, look at him. He's going to hit his head on the ceiling.
He might.
Yeah, look at that.
Go ahead and just blast your head through the ceiling.
Oh, this is
that
good.
Would be hella dumb.
Whoa, we got a...
He like us.
He did a flip off the top rope into a splash.
Yeah.
And he's into an armbar, it looks like, right now. He's into an armbar.
Is he going to tap?
Is he?
Oh, no. He reversed it a little bit. He's using some elbows, and now he's going to monkey. Oh, no, he's doing the wall of Jericho. Boston Crab right there.
Yeah. He's got it locked in.
Oh, he tapped. He's tapping. The ref doesn't see it.
Oh, no. The ref didn't see it, and the manager's getting involved.
We're calling kind of play-by-play. You're stupid.
We're hella dumb.
Anyways, sit down.
All right.
Because you said so.
All right, fine.
So it's time to get a little hella dumb, right? We haven't been hella dumb in a while.
Right.
It's been I think the last time it's been 2 weeks since I've been at your house. Last one was the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Which I'll be there on time for the pay-per-view this time.
Sure.
Well, my fault, kind of. I was kind of working.
Street corner.
So it's time to get hella dumb.
Okay.
And my story is I told you about it the other day. I went and played some cards last night.
Yes.
Won some money. It's always nice to win a few bucks.
Sure.
And just before anybody starts looking for their cut, I didn't get rich. I made enough money to go ahead and have some dinner, okay? That was about as much as it went. And whenever I gamble, I usually try and break even, or I'll try and do enough to at least provide dinner and then whatever else.
Sure.
If I make $20, but I spent 3 hours making that $20, I basically had free entertainment and made $20.
Yeah.
So that's what I always look for when it comes down to it. Looks like somebody wants some money. I don't look like that was $3,000, but hey, looks pretty fair to me.
I don't know. I ain't seen $3,000 in a long time.
That's true.
Hella dumb.
But playing blackjack. It's French. They're French.
Okay.
There's always rules, because gambling is always, I wouldn't say it's luck, but there's always got to have some odds in your favor, right?
Sure.
And when you play blackjack, you're playing with the table. You're not playing against the table. You're not playing Texas Hold'em like something that you like to play.
Right.
You always got to find a way to play with the table.
Yeah.
If you're standing on 15 and for that matter, really 16 against a face card, don't play with me. I'll go play somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because
it's irritating.
It's extremely irritating, and you got to find the real way to play. And there's books online. Look at a regular book online. The reality is that they don't tell you to stand on 16 against a face card. Truth be told, they don't tell you to stand on a face card. If you got 16 and you see a 7, the reality is that it may be a 7. It may be 17.
Yeah.
So you would have lost. Either way, you're losing. Go ahead and hit that card.
Yeah. No, I've never sat down and really played blackjack at a casino. Or
a card house, whatever.
Yeah. But blackjack's really not my forte. But poker is, and because it's only because I've never really grasped the concept of blackjack.
Right. Well, if you don't get it, then
don't
either
do it.
Play by yourself or go and do it.
Right. Yeah, and that's just what it comes down to for me, So
we had a time one night where we were playing blackjack and a guy split tens, and I think my buddy nearly fell out of his seat and then launched himself over the table, kind of thing. He was pretty heated. He was like, "How do you do something like that?" And I don't there's never a lot of money for me. One, I don't have that kind of money, but two, I just never played with a lot of money on the table as it is.
Right.
So usually the minimums there's $3 ones, but usually $5 bets is usually the limit. Then I'll go. Oh, if I'm up, I may play 10. I might get a little stupid sometimes, but still, most people playing like $500, $600 on the freaking table. I'm like, that's my paycheck.
Yeah. I'm not a baller anymore.
I've never really even acted like one.
Wait a minute. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Really?
Just because I went and got certain things that I wanted, like sitting in the best seats of the house when you're talking about baseball, I don't mean to make you a baller. I still drove my raggedy rear end car.
This is Jeff, folks. Tell me I won't buy it. Spend $400 freaking at a baseball stand. That's Jeff Dominic.
$250. Oh no, plus the Tim Hudson ball. That's right.
Yeah,
it was $375, something like that. But still, I bought a potential Hall of Famers baseball and a future potential Hall of Famers baseball.
Yeah. No, just because I told you couldn't.
Just because you told me. Well, the Huddy ball I was going to buy anyways.
Yeah.
The Bumgardner one, I did it just because.
Yeah, it's Bumgardner.
That was the tell me I won't do it.
Yeah.
That was what that one was. The Huddy one I wanted to buy because the first time we went, I was like, I kind of want that.
Yeah.
And then kind of changed my thought process behind it. But yeah, so that's that being. But yeah, if you don't know blackjack, don't play. If you're not going to play the same way that the rest of the table is playing, don't play. Go somewhere else. Because chances are we'll just leave and then you'll be out. Because really, are we ever guaranteed money? No. We're never guaranteed money when you go out to gamble. But you have a better chance if you play strategically by the books and what they say, because there's always the odds of winning are always better in your favor when you do it a certain way.
Yeah.
That's my hella dumb story, and I'm off my soapbox.
Off your soapbox?
Yes.
Your soapbox of hella dumb?
My soapbox of hella dumb. What you got?
I don't think I really have one.
What? Where you work, you don't have a hella dumb story?
I don't think so.
Like, I got one.
Well,
and that happened yesterday. I think if it's what I'm thinking of, you might kill that guy.
There are certain things that go on that I don't want to bring onto the air.
Because normally you start getting a few 4-letter words involved into it.
Yeah, there's that too. But, I've been really busy lately. We all know that, between home and dealing with family stuff.
Yep.
I will say this. I put a lot of miles on my car.
Yep.
Like today, what I did today, was driving to San Francisco at 8:30 in the morning, only to turn around and come right back home.
Come here.
No, I went home first, and then I came here.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Exactly. So I've done some driving today, and
you're going to drive right back home.
Yeah, I've driven about 500 miles today.
Jeez.
But you know, it's only because I need to.
Yeah.
I got my aunt that I help take care of. You know what I mean? That I like to help out, and she means everything to me. And so we just got in the car. I had to go get my car back, and so it's a lot of driving. So what I did was, Amy took off. She ran a red light. For those that don't know, Amy's my wife. She was in her car. We were kind of going side by side. She takes off through a light and runs the second light, which is red. Leaves me. I'm like, damn, where'd she go? So what's my goal? I'm going to catch her. I made it home from San Francisco today, about an hour and 25 minutes. I'm doing about 100.
Oh, my God.
In and out, in and out, in and out. I was doing that.
Oh, my goodness.
I caught up with her.
She ran a red light, though.
She did.
Did she get flashed?
No.
Oh, she's lucky.
No,
She's lucky.
It's a bad spot in the city. I'll take you by there one day. It's like where we're at.
Not the Castro district, is it? I'm sorry.
Just past it.
Just past it. Yes. Oh, my goodness. So, anyways.
Yeah, I'm just lucky I didn't get a ticket. I don't live an exciting life right now.
No, you don't. But something that is going to be exciting is the NCAA tournament. We find out the selection show on Sunday. So we may be watching Fastlane on one, and then we may be watching the selection show at the same kind of time. So that'll be kind of interesting. But anyways, it's coming up, and that's Sunday. We'll discuss what we will do with our brackets, and are we looking for some upsets? That's next, 209 Sports. Back at the Amblers Club, hanging out, just watching some good wrestling. JD, Jeff Dominic, and Kyle Hauk here on 209 Sports. Thank you all for joining us. And we got Omega in the ring. And as I was thinking that they may be the heel, they're actually probably the fan favorite, the face.
They look like the face. Yes,
faces.
They look like the face of the place, and
the face that runs the place.
Yes, and
one of the wrestlers we'll have featured. He's already pretty much confirmed he'll come by afterwards. And, someone that apparently I know or have crossed paths with. I shouldn't say I know him, but have crossed paths with. And then of course tonight the main event. Andrew, good friend Andrew Arch, good friend of the show, will be going after his television title. So it should be a great experience there, and we'll be rooting for him.
Yeah. No, it's looking forward to it. Andrew put a lot of this on himself, and organizing it and being involved heavily, and looking forward to that interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think they said G-Force sucks, I think is what they're saying. I'm not 100% positive. But a good match, nevertheless. But the NCAA tournament is this
Selection Sunday.
Selection Sunday is this Sunday along with Fastlane. So we're going to be looking forward to two events. Like what we may do is, like we were saying earlier, one TV may have Fastlane, the big TV may have Fastlane, and in the corner we may have the selection show, so that way we can keep an eye on that. That's at 6, so we'll be We'll be 2 hours, well, technically 2 hours deep into the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We'll be an hour into the main event, or the main show, but 2 hours deep in the pay-per-view, which we'll see what time I get there. I should be there about 4:30-ish.
I know Kylie wants to go driving tomorrow, too, so.
Oh, great. So your stress level will be high. Perfect. That's all we need.
No, it won't.
But so this is what we did a few years ago, before I became part of the creating factors of 209 Sports. We did a station bracket challenge.
Okay.
And the bracket challenge follows as this. There are going to be 68 teams. And obviously not 68 games, but there's going to be, you split that in two, there's going to be 34 games total.
Right.
In the first round.
Okay.
Technically the first round. You add those 4 teams. It's going to be kind of stupid. But anyways, what we'll probably do is, it'll be between you, myself, and Mark. Which Mark, who's the absentee regularly, not the regular person that shows up.
He's a regular absentee.
He's a regular absentee. We'll put together our own 3, playing against basically each other. We'll have, so that first round of games will be 1 point.
Okay.
The second round of games will be 3 points.
Okay.
So, and then we'll continue the second round, and then after that, I believe it becomes the 64 to 32. Then it'll be the Sweet 16.
Okay.
The Sweet 16 will be 5. The Elite 8 will be 7. The Final 4 will be 10. And the final game will be 15 points.
Okay.
But we do all our brackets. We'll do the whole bracket. We're not going to just keep picking teams. It'll just be a conglomerate of the bracket we just had. So if you have, let's say you had 32 games, and you only had 10 of those games that you were correct on, well, you're hoping that the next round, those teams stay for a very long time.
Right.
Because those points do add up. Last year, or a couple of years ago, it wasn't last year, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago, I wound up winning it, but I was up by 9 points, and the guy that I faced off against picked the other team to win. And it was when Wisconsin was playing.
Okay.
And I believe it was Duke. And I picked Duke that year. Was it Duke? Kentucky. I believe it was Duke.
No, Kentucky.
It was Kentucky?
It was Kentucky, yeah.
So it was Kentucky, and I picked Kentucky to win it.
That was the year that the one loss Kentucky had.
Okay.
Was in the final game.
No, it's not the game then.
Okay.
Because that game I wound up winning. I won the tournament.
Okay.
I won the brackets, but we laughed because there was a game, and one of the guys that I know, we said that whoever was in last place had to hold a sandwich board out in the middle by Pacific Avenue, one of the busier streets in Stockton, and hold a sign that said, "I lost to the KW," and I almost said the whole station, but I lost to this sports station. Listen to them on this station ID number, and it was awesome. And of course, the winner got absolutely nothing but a pat on the back. But to see him lose and take it all down was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I figured we'll do something like that. What I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll actually try and point it all out. Okay. I'm going to look at it. I'll point it all out, and just kind of that way we can go from there. Which means I got to do it by tonight and tomorrow morning. So it's all right. I'll figure it out.
You're a little busy tonight, though.
No, I'm actually not. Yeah. Anyways.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's whatever. But anyways, so I got time. Anyways, it sounds like there's going to be the guys that we kind of predicted are going to be the top seeds. Are going to be the top seeds. I believe Xavier, Duke will be number 2. There's going to be
Villanova
will be number 1. There's a Virginia team
that'll be a number 1.
And there's one other, and I can't think of the other one. But anyways, so those are going to be.
All right. People are getting rowdy. They're getting rowdy. It's getting late.
So. Interesting.
Yes, it is.
No. Interesting. Anyways,
yeah.
So with the NCAA tournament coming up, are there teams that you're kind of like, I wonder if this team's going to make a big run? Is there a Cinderellas that you're even, I mean, I know we don't have the exact etymology of the bracketology.
Right.
That on purpose.
That was good. Man,
I got two in my mind.
I really don't know.
Is this probably one of those years that we may not have a number one team playing for the final four or even the national title?
I mean, are we going to consider a Cinderella team one of those?
It's 5 or lower.
Okay.
It's going to be 5 or lower.
Well, you know what? Kentucky might mess around and be a 5th seed this year.
True. But I'm not threatened by them.
No, you're not threatened by them, but it's still Kentucky.
I'm not worried about them, though. I don't even think that'll be truly a Cinderella team. Usually Cinderella teams are those teams that are in the WAC, or even right now, even the Cincinnatis of the world.
Sure.
Even though they've been ranked fairly high for the latter part of the second half of the season.
Right.
They probably will still be considered a Cinderella because they probably can get there if they get deep. They still may be a 3 seed.
Alabama?
Possibly. I'm thinking someone like New Mexico State.
Why not?
Random as all heck. But they could be like a number 13 and still beat a couple of good schools, and people will start to fall in love with them.
I like an Alabama team.
Okay.
One, because of Avery Johnson. I love him as a coach. He's very outspoken.
Yeah.
He was a great NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like the way he carries himself. He always has through his whole career. They've really turned up the heat this year in as far as effort. So they could very possibly be one. There's a couple other schools out there that you never know. You never really know.
I put New Mexico State out there. If they can they have to actually play well and have to have a little bit of luck, from what I understood, in order to make it this year.
Mm-hmm.
Florida is another one. You talk about an SEC school, they may be a 5 seed, and they may actually make a nice little run. Right. I would love to see Florida make another little run. They didn't make the last time that they had a great success was Billy Donovan was still there. They had Joakim Noah, guys like that were playing well.
A long time ago.
It's been a long time. I think 2003 or 4, something like that, roughly.
Back to back, yeah.
And that power run just did not look right. But anyways, so hopefully we can see something like that. Back to the WCC. We're going to have 2 Omega 1.
Perfect.
So go to the WCC side of things. St. Mary's is going to make the tournament, luckily, because the only thing that really lets them win get in is because they beat Gonzaga once this year.
Right.
They lost to Gonzaga as well. Gonzaga's going to make it. They actually are the at-large bid because they beat BYU in the championship. I have a problem with St. Mary's because they lost to BYU in the WCC tournament.
Right.
I wonder if St. Mary's could be, because they're probably going to be like a 9 or a 10.
If not higher.
No, they'll probably be a 9 or 10. I wonder if they can make a run. They truly could be your
They could.
Cinderella team. Where does Gonzaga go? Last year's runner-ups.
They got a majority of the same team.
Yeah.
Do they try to make amends for what happened last year? They were the team to beat last year, and they got beat. That's a program that came from almost being disintegrated to being a year-round contender.
Absolutely.
Heard the stat the other morning on Golic and Wingo. It's been 20 years. This is the 20th year Gonzaga has been in the tournament.
Wow.
The last time Gonzaga was not in the tournament, in the March Madness tournament, Vince Carter was still in college.
Oh, my goodness. That's a long time.
It's a real long time.
It's a real long time. So that should be interesting. We should have a little bit more. We'll post them. We'll find a way to get them posted on our Facebook page. Like our page, 209 Sports Facebook page. Find us on Twitter, 209_sports. And that's all our only outlet. That's really our 209 Sports YouTube channel. But anyways, when we come back, wrestling here at Amblers Club, and then on Sunday, we're going to talk a little Fastlane. That's next right here on 209 Sports. So Vinny Mazzaro is actually joining into the ring right now. He interviewed earlier tonight, and now he's going to go ahead and have his match.
You know, this is really hard. You put us in a real bad position.
Why?
To do the show, knowing damn good and well.
Squirrel! Yeah. So with this match going on, we'll kind of keep an eye out, just because now I've got vested interest in seeing if Vinny will win.
Yes.
Because we just talked to him, and it's going up against the UFC fighter, and he thinks that he can. And Phil Mazzaro, or what was his name?
Phil Mazzaro.
Okay.
Fill me with sorrow.
Pretty much. But anyways, so a great situation here, and Vinny's going to go ahead and try and see what he can do, and hopefully he can beat up the UFC fighter. But anyways, so Fastlane is this weekend. We've got an opportunity to talk about this a little bit. The hard part is that we haven't really kept as much into it as prior weeks.
They haven't made it real easy either.
And that's part of the problem. And this was what we talked about right before we took a little bit of a hiatus for a few weeks due to scheduling. But weren't we afraid that if you don't push it a certain way, you're going to lose some of our interest?
Yes.
We're at that point. I have a weird feeling. The biggest thing I'm looking right now is John Cena. John Cena all of a sudden is back in this match it's a 6-person match with AJ Styles, the champion. You have Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, John Cena,
Baron Corbin,
Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, randomly, and so I've watched Raw the last couple of weeks, so it's been kind of okay. I've at least kind of kept up on certain aspects of it. I just haven't kept up on everything. Mm-hmm. Randomly, Goldust had a match with John Cena. And he basically was like, hey, I'll take you on, and lost. Well, okay. All right. A couple of weeks ago, I swear that John Cena had thrown out the name of The Undertaker. I don't know. If that match happens, are you excited about it? If that's really a possibility,
I don't think so.
I have a weird feeling that something's going to happen, and that's why I'm really interested in looking at Fastlane and watching the event. Things are going to come to fruition.
They have to.
Oh, yeah, they definitely have to.
WrestleMania is next month. It's in 3 weeks.
Yeah. So something has to come around for that. Because there's no way that I think that unless something happens where they make it a three-man match, that AJ Styles loses this match. They've been pushing the Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles match as the match for the last month, since Royal Rumble, really.
Right.
So I don't see AJ Styles losing. But where those 5 wrestlers go, the other 5 go, intrigues me. And I think you have to do that in the next 3 days.
Okay.
And it has to be done. We have to see something on Sunday. I think we'll see something on Sunday.
I think there'll be a surprise or two.
Monday, obviously, there's not going to be anything because that's Raw. And then what happens on Tuesday? See what I'm saying? There's got to be something within the next 3 days.
There has to be something coming up. You know, I've seen reports that Samoa Joe may be coming back.
Well, Big Cass should be coming back there soon, too.
Yes. And they're both expected to be back by WrestleMania.
Same thing with Jeff Hardy.
Yes. I haven't heard a whole lot about Jeff Hardy's deal. But the rumor has it that Cass and Samoa Joe are definitely supposed to be back before WrestleMania. And they're going to be looking for matches. And I think if you throw those two into the mix somewhere in SmackDown, I think you can make several good matches just by putting those two in the mix.
So what was I looking at just now? New details on the Ultimate Deletion match. Supposedly they're supposed to be that. Let me go to this here real quick. I was reading it and I kind of lost sight of it for a minute. But so with the fact that there may be some of that stuff coming on, something is going to happen tonight or tomorrow. Something's going to happen. New details. This was earlier. This is from whatculture.com, but it's the Ultimate Deletion match is coming to WWE with the company filming the action at the Hardy compound in Cameron, North yesterday afternoon, per PW Insider. According to the write-up, referee Sean Bennett was sent to officiate the Mayhem. Jeremy Borash, who was instrumental in producing much of the Hardy Broken content in TNA. So you can read the rest of it later on whatculture.com. But there are certain dynamics that need to start getting into gear, right? I mean, the Ultimate Deletion match sounds like it's going to be something set up for WrestleMania. Does that mean that Jeff Hardy has to be a part of it, right? He has to be a part of it. If we're going to start getting this all involved, he has to be a part of it.
He does. I'm sorry, I'm reading another report here that, we were just talking about John Cena.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to get off track, and I was thrown off by this, but John Cena, the headline is this: John Cena's move to SmackDown may be a short-lived one.
Okay.
He's already not booked for any more showings for SmackDown.
Okay.
So he's already booked for Raw showings.
Well, there also is that discussion of they need to start shaking things up between the brands anyway.
Again, yes.
Usually that happens right after WrestleMania-ish. And the discussion is AJ Styles is going to be coming back to Raw. Balor Club, big things going on over there. I gotta believe that something has to happen, because I don't want to lose the excitement that would be WrestleMania.
Right.
So you have to start piquing my interest now.
Yeah.
I said that 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I said it a couple months ago, really.
Yeah, we did.
And if there isn't any more time that my voice needs to be heard, it has to be now. Because I'm sitting down and waiting, and I keep looking at Raw, hoping that something changes. I know I don't watch SmackDown as much as I'd like to, but I keep hoping that something changes.
You know, we have DVR for a reason. I just don't have any reason to turn it on my DVR.
Right.
You know, it's sad that it's gotten to this point where we're grown men who've been watching this stuff most of our lives, and we're begging for a reason to be interested.
Yes.
There's something wrong there. The whole WWE universe is begging for something to go on there. And I think they're missing the mark right now. I really do. I don't think that maybe McMahon's focus is there. Maybe he's got his other business ventures that he may be focusing on. A little football action. And the transition going from Vince McMahon to one Triple H, maybe a changing of the guard here.
And you mentioned about John Cena not being part of Raw or SmackDown anymore, which really pushes me to believe that he's not going to be the champion come Sunday.
No.
Because that title is held by SmackDown.
Yeah.
It could change if, for whatever reason, it could change into It could change into Raw, but the Universal would go back. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Is that they wouldn't keep both championships in one brand.
No, God no.
So, but there also is now that other spectrum that SmackDown and Raw's the pay-per-views are all going to be together again.
Yes, they are downsizing, so to speak.
So Maroney wins. Our boy Vinny loses. Bizarro. That's a bummer.
That is a bummer. He cheated.
Yeah. The ref's eyes were closed. I don't know.
Yeah. G-Force is out there.
Anyways, but so the SmackDown event tomorrow, Fastlane, I have to believe something big's going to happen. I would love to see. I have a feeling that something's going to happen with John Cena. It'll be curious. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. No, they have to do something.
Yeah, so spring training next week is in full effect. What do we usually watch for when we get ready for the season? We'll have a little bit of that. We'll have a little bit of a few wrestlers. We'll see how things kind of work out. That's next, 209 Sports.
April 21st.
It's main event time, Kyle.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. No, this is good.
Yeah, so it's main event time for the Anarchy at Amblers, the TWF event.
Television title on the line.
Andrew Arch coming out.
There he is.
Oh, that's my dude. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. This will be the final, maybe the final segment, depending on, because I know we're trying to get one of the guys from Omega to come out and hang out with us. And Andrew Arch, of course, will be the final person for us.
Yeah.
Being the guy that provided us to be able to come out here and enjoy this. But a great situation, a great time, and we'll see how Andrew Arch fares in a Stockton street fight.
Well, he's got his kendo stick out, and he looks like he's ready to use it.
So with this happening behind us in the background, we're going to talk a little baseball spring training. What do you look for when it comes to spring training? I mean, is there anything specific you can really look for?
I look for new talent.
Okay. Have you seen any with the Giants?
Not much.
Are you concerned with the Giants?
No, I don't pay much attention to spring training as far as that goes. I always look to see how guys come out.
Okay.
Big person this year was Madison Bumgarner. Make sure my country bumpkin buddy.
Bumgarner didn't get hurt during spring training.
Yeah, I understand.
He got hurt going a little quadding.
And he got some new clauses put in his contract.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. But, I just look to see if there's anybody that jumps out. There's a lot of guys on a roster right now that aren't going to be on that opening day roster.
Right.
And, I'm looking for those guys.
Well, apparently they played Seattle twice, and both times Seattle lost.
The Giants had to come back.
That doesn't matter. They still lost.
That is something that I have noticed from the Giants is that they've had to come back in several of their games. Matter of fact, they had to come back today against the Angels, but I don't think they won. They actually lost. But the idea that they're having that ability to come back is what they lacked last year.
Well, on the flip side of that for me is going, okay, well, relief pitching sucks. I mean, it has come down to the fact that if you're going to hold into games, well, we got to see what you're going to do in certain situations. Right now, if you can't hold a lead, Seattle's in trouble.
Yeah.
And me being a Seattle fan, that's what I look for. Sure. Los Angeles Angels look really good, man. They may be I wouldn't say the surprise, but I would say that they're going to be well better than what they were last season. This is still going to be a 4-team race in the AL West. Yeah. Texas Rangers are still there. Houston, can't count them out. They're the last year's champions.
Right.
Seattle will be good. Oakland A's will be there, but I don't know if they just
signed Jonathan Lucroy as their catcher for a 1-year deal.
And
it's a bat.
That's about all you got.
For a catcher.
Yeah. So it's nice to have a catcher. I mean, you do need the catcher aspect of things. I mean, and he's always a decent catcher when he was with Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah. No, so, very, very, very defensive-minded and can stop a ball, which is important.
I was watching the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last year made a really strong run. Of course, they don't have J.D. Martinez again there this year. Do you think that are you concerned with the Diamondbacks at all this year?
No, I'm not concerned with them at all. That's just it.
Well, Zach Greinke pitched like Zach Greinke of a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I know it's one.
Yeah.
And Paul Goldschmidt.
You got Paul Goldschmidt, who's money. I don't care who you are. That's money in the bank right there. But you're lacking that big bat that J.D. Martinez brought to the table.
You know who's a completely spoken. What's going on, brother? Underspoken that we haven't talked to. We'll get the men from. Oh, okay. We're gonna get the men from Omega on. You know who's been surprising to me is guys from is going to be Milwaukee. Milwaukee has Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, and they still have Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
They got 3 bats, and of course the Yankees. But that's always what they say. Let me get my man from Omega on here. Let's get this flipped over. There we go.
Kind of, sort of. There we go.
Well, congratulations on the win, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
For sure. So a lot of this has been a great event, man. I mean, I'm going to sit there and we've been trying to do a show. I swear we've been trying to do a show. We just keep getting sidetracked and we keep moving over. So, I guess the big thing is they coming to Stockton, doing the Anarchy at Amblers. How much fun was this tonight?
Honestly, it was amazing, especially for me. I grew up in this building.
Right.
My dad was a vice president and president of the Amblers Club, so to come back here is like coming back home, and it was really special for me tonight. You know, a lot of my family and fellow Ambler brothers showed up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know they were going to come. You know what I'm saying? So it was a surprise to get here to the building and see everybody greet me and be excited to see me work. So for me, like I said, it was almost like a dream come true. So
we were debating because, of course, Andrew Arch, who's in the main event right now, right behind us, he helped bring us towards here. And so we're learning a little bit in order to the character side of things. We're still learning. We thought that originally Omega may have been a heel side of things, but I guess we can say that they're more of the face.
See, that's the thing about it is that Omega's everything.
All right.
If we want to be face, we'll be face.
Okay.
If we want to be heel, we'll be heel. Because you know what we do? We come in to the town and we steal the show.
There you
guys
go.
seen it? You guys seen the crowd? How busy? Loud they were. We steal the show no matter what. They either boo us out of the building or they cheer us out of the building. But when it comes down to it, Omega always comes up on top.
So what was this this match that you had today? It was a tag match. How did this set up? Is there bad blood? Is there anything that needs to be said in order to kind of bring the story to full focus?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because pretty much at the last show was all over Northern Cali. You know, Modesto, Manteca, Stockton, Sacramento. It's just G-Force and Omega just keep running into each other, and it just seems like sooner rather than later we're gonna have a full force G-Force versus Omega sometime soon. It seems like no matter what city we're in, we always end up having problems with them. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter where we're at. They always end up, opening up their loud mouth. Especially, man, I can't stand that Lockhart guy. I cannot stand him.
When are you gonna take the title from him? When are you gonna take it? I know Vinny's got the match, but Phil. I'm sorry,
Phil has the match. You know what? I'm still new to this business. Getting any opportunity I can, like tonight. I wasn't even really expected to be on this card.
Well, in fact, you and I were talking about it before that.
I'm so new to the business. So for me, a championship is probably far away from me. Maybe a tag team championship is something, in near sight. Hopefully, some gold that I could put around my waist. But I don't know, man. Like I said, Lockhart, if he has G-Force behind him, he's pretty unstoppable.
Right.
And that's why I say I can't stand him, because he can't win a fight on his own.
How'd you get set up with Omega?
So originally I was a referee here in TWF for almost about 5 years.
Okay.
And I was training along with doing the reffing for a while. And after a while, Omega just pretty much kept bullying me around. During the matches, they would kick me out of the matches, tell me I couldn't ref their matches. They would, pull my legs out of the match when I'm trying to ref. Just constantly bullying me over months. And so pretty much I, stood up. No one wanted to stick up to him, so I did.
Okay.
I challenged Christian Black to a Oak Park street fight down in Sacramento. And we pretty much beat each other all over the Colonial Theater there on Stockton Boulevard. Got into the lobby, everything. I almost had him.
Right.
I was that close, guys. But again, what happens? He plays the numbers game.
Yeah.
Here comes Omega to jump me from behind, when the ref's not looking, steals the win. So I just kept battling all of them. I pretty much ended up fighting every single member of Omega. And then pretty much, they made me a deal I couldn't refuse. And, the rest is history. I turned on my opponents. It's not something I'm super proud of, but this is a business. And you got to do whatever you got to do to get to the top.
Do what you got to do. That's right.
That's right. It's not so much the beat them and join them kind of situation. It's just more like we know where to go, and that's how we're going to get there.
Exactly.
So,
that's awesome.
So now you have this thing coming up in April. We knew about these 3 big events because Andrew Arch was kind of pushing it towards us that he was really focused, and this was going to be the final event that he was really looking forward to. But April 21st, I believe, is what you were just talking about. Sacramento, the Colonial Theater. Do you know if you're doing anything yet in the Colonial Theater, or is there any rumors coming around that you may be pushing for?
Pretty much, I think only one match has been announced, and I think that was a title match that you've seen. But this is going to be probably my 7th Rio Mania that I've been a part of. This is Rio Mania 16. I've been a part of it since about Rio Mania 9. So I never got to wrestle on any Rio Manias. I got to experience it, especially Rio Mania. I think it was 12 or 13. We did a show in the Air Force Base.
Okay.
Over 500 people sold that place out.
Man, that's awesome.
And ever since that day, I've tried to work my ass off and try to get to that point to wrestle at Rio Mania. It's one of the biggest shows and the biggest historic venue in Sacramento, the Colonial Theater. Some of the best wrestlers have wrestled at the Colonial Theater, so it's history. And to be able to perform on that stage is, so it would be truly a blessing. So we'll see what happens.
What got you into this? What got you inside that squared circle?
Pretty much, it's just a passion I had. I really can't explain it. You know, it's a lot of guys. You know, they look at you crazy. Like, what do you mean you get beat up for a living? You know what I mean? Like, who wants to get beat up for a living?
I'm out.
I know I don't. But it's just, man, you know, the crowd, the excitement, the entertainment. It's something I've admired since I was, 7 years old, and it's just stuck with me. You know. Yeah, I was one of those guys who like to wrestle in their backyard on mattresses and trampolines and stuff like that.
Hey, I saw that on SJTV. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's not the proudest thing to, you know, when you get into the professional ranks of the business, you know, you really don't want to carry that with you. They really don't like that. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just a passion, you know. And I actually started wrestling back in 2010. About 6 months into my career, I had an elbow injury.
Okay.
I was up in Clear Lake doing my first ever match on TV. And it was against the Jake, the owner of this company right here. You guys see right here. I was honored. He's like a 10-time champion, you know. So it was my first singles match on live TV. And unfortunately, you know, I got injured my elbow, so I was out. So when I came back, you know, I kind of contemplated my whole career, you know. Started, you know, reffing a little bit, but it was always there, man. That urge was always, you know, tucked deep down in between. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's a dream of mine. You know, and if you don't go after your dreams, then why are you living? You know,
sure. 100%.
You know, look at what you guys are doing.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You guys are doing this because you guys love to do it. You know? And that's the same thing when it comes to wrestling. Most of us don't get paid, you know, hardly anything to do these shows. You know, we do it because we love the business and we love, you know, pro wrestling. So.
Man, that's awesome. That's great.
Absolutely. No, and it's what I guess that's kind of how we all kind of intertwine and get us out here too, right? It's just
like I said, I walked by the booth, man, saw what you guys were doing. I was like, hold on a minute, 209 Sports. Like, okay, well, you know, like I was telling you guys earlier, you know, I used to be one of the announcers over at the Delta College. You know?
That's right.
We were talking about that earlier, so it was just kind of cool to get back on the microphone and talk to you guys a little bit. You know, it was real fun.
For sure. No, we appreciate you. Who got you? Who did you always want to emulate? I mean, was there a famous wrestler, or just not even famous? Because we were talking to Vinny, and he was bringing up guys that we didn't even. I was like, wow, I didn't even expect.
Yeah, see, I feel spoiled in that content. You know, I mean, I grew up in what some might call one of the best eras of wrestling, the Attitude Era. You know, I'm a 90s baby. So I grew up in the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? So. I would say guys like I know it's weird, guys like Billy Kidman, you know, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero was a really big idol of mine. Yeah. You know, rest in peace, Eddie. But you know, it's just guys like that. You know, guys who dedicated their life to this business. You know, those are the guys that motivated it. You know. I like old school guys, Bret Hart, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Technical guys, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I watched a lot of wrestling growing up, so it was kind of hard. You know, I was just amazed in the spectacular in itself, you know, the entire show, the lighting, the fireworks, you know, everything, you know, that draws you into that kind of entertainment, because, you know, when it comes down to it, it's entertainment. You know?
So were you a WCW guy? Did you come to see WCW?
I was one of those guys who kind of flip back and forth from Nitro to Raw.
100%. Yeah.
You know, and so it was just kind of cool to, you know, to kind of live in that era. Yeah. Not a lot of people, you know, can say that they lived in that era, especially the new next gen guys. You know, people who are big fans of WWE now and NXT and places like that. You know, don't get me wrong, those guys are amazing. You know, Hunter has changed the business, but you know, what I'm saying, I still think, you know, I grew up in one of the best, you know, times of wrestling. So guys like that really motivated me. You know, so.
What about these guys at the NXT level? I mean, these are guys that are kind of in a certain situation that you guys are, but they're fighting for their lives. The only difference is that their livelihood can come to the WWE, which I think that a lot of wrestlers want to always be that WWE guy. But Ring of Honor is becoming big now, and there's so many other ways. What do you think about somebody like that's NXT? Do you think that they should pursue that kind of realm? I mean, where would you always want to go?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the best thing the WWE did was start the Performance Center, because what it did is it branched out. You know what I mean? That's why you have guys from different countries coming over and wrestling. You never seen that back in the day. Back in the day, it was, you know, you had to go through OVW, you know what I'm saying? certain trainers like that, and it's amazing what Hunter has done to that business.
Right.
I no offense, I give Vince 100% credit for what WWE has become, but Hunter has really turned the page and opened up a whole new opportunity of the side of the business. I've seen them sign guys like Ricochet and Candice Michelle, and I'm just like people who I never thought I see wrestle in WWE ring because they were making so much money in Japan and they were so popular over there. And a lot of guys don't like to do that. They like to be. That's what took AJ Styles so long to come over and make that change. You know what I mean? So I think the NXT thing is perfect. I love how they are really pushing the women's division.
Oh my goodness!
Something
yes.
they said. Some people still don't want to watch women's wrestling. It's the same. It's the same to me. And I give the women the same respect as I give the men, because when it comes down to it, again, it's if you can tell a story, and work, then what I'm saying, you're just as good as one of the top guys. I see no difference in that. But even other companies have been so big, like you said, Ring of Honor. They do Supercard. Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega. I'm more excited to watch that than any other WrestleMania bout right now.
Well, that part is I don't blame you.
It's amazing how much wrestling has progressed, and I want to say how we've gotten over the hump.
Yeah.
We got that hump when everybody kind of figured out, it's a stage, it's a work, it's a fix. Everybody stopped watching it once they figured that out. When it became mainstream, that wrestling's fake, as people might say, but wrestling's not fake. So I said after that hill, I didn't think the wrestling would be as popular in the mainstream as it is today. But again, social media, stuff like that. Hey, congratulations to Andrew Arch, man.
Yeah.
That's my trainer right there too.
That's awesome. Real quick before we let you go, I was talking to Kyle, and I was here a couple hours before while you guys were all still setting up, and it amazed me how much you guys still really kind of have a big respect for each other. One guy will walk in, they give the bro hugs and stuff like that, and then it becomes business directly after. Can you speak on that and how much these guys, all these guys, whether it be from Omega or not, for that matter, how much these guys mean to you?
To be honest with you, I am 100% gratified for TWF and everybody in it. I was just a kid, who wanted to get into the business. And these guys see something in me that I don't even see sometimes. You know what I mean? Especially like my trainer, Andrew, you see right there. That guy's, really pushing me hard. He wants me to be the best. He wants me to be better than him. Guys who are just not selfish. They want other people to succeed. That's, there's a lot of selfishness that people say in this business. You know what I mean? There are some people like that who pretty much are out for themselves. I would never be like that. You know what I'm saying? I respect every single person in this building. I don't care if you're a fan. I don't care if you're the music guy, security, whoever. My friend Matt right here, who I've known for a while, I respect every single person in the business, because when it comes down to it, we all play a part in making this happen. You know what I mean? From the guys who tear down the ring, I help, myself included, I helped out tear down the ring, It's just respect that you got to, when it comes down to it, when you're in the ring with the opponent, you got to respect each other, you got to work together, or else you're not going to make magic.
Man. Well, I want to congratulate you, man, on a win tonight. There may be an opportunity that 209 Sports may be visiting the 916.
Definitely, man.
So we may go towards your big events, and we will look forward to, hopefully, fingers crossed, you're in one of those. If not, you know where we're at. We'll find us.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I mean, anytime you guys want me to come on the show and talk whatever topics you guys have, I'm always free, man.
Hey, my brother, we've thoroughly enjoyed this. This has been a fun time.
Absolutely, man. This was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Right on, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it so much.
And we'll hopefully see you in April. All right, man. That's George from Omega. Congratulations to him, and as we were just talking about it, Andrew Arch with the win,
the TV title in hand.
So we're gonna take a small break. When we he's got can't forget that. So a handshake in the center of the ring, winning the television title. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll have Andrew Arch here on 209 Sports. Get it done.
This will be real quick.
Back here on 209 Sports, Andrew Arch joins us now as we, congratulations, man. Way to go.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
So we had George from Omega was with us while you were doing...
Diego, yeah.
Diego, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Man, Omega, they're a tough group of guys, and I've been trying to prove myself for a while now. I think tonight in my hometown I did just that. I proved why I am a main eventer. I proved why I deserve to be at the top. And I'm going to take the TWF Television Championship and bring it back to glory and bring respect back to this title. I'll defend against anybody and anybody from anywhere at any time. Every single show I'll be defending this belt. You're going to see this around my waist for a very, very long time.
Well, congratulations, man. We just found out that everyone's asking us to come down to Sacramento.
Yeah, definitely,
so
man.
We're going to have to talk about that, bro.
Definitely. Let's make it happen.
All right, man. Well, I know you're hurting. I didn't want to keep you too long. You were the main event. You were the main event for all of us, brother.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Take care. All right. So that was Andrew Arch, and he obviously was a man of few words just because he had to you could tell he's hurting. You just went through a table. So,
yeah, he did.
To put a final spot on this, I mean, just this whole situation. It's a
phenomenal show.
I couldn't disagree. I mean, I can't disagree with you.
I think this is absolutely amazing. The amount we already had an idea of what kind of work goes into this, but just to kind of see it firsthand, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Awesome.
It was a great situation. He's hurting.
I'm sure a lot of guys are hurting.
But no one went through what that last match was. It was all 100% worth it.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. And that just goes back to the kids don't try this at home.
Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and soak in a bath for a very long time. We are going to try and get there for April 21st.
I like it.
I think we got to. I got to look at my schedule. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. If I've got a paying gig, I can't pass that up.
No, I hear you.
But if we get an opportunity, we're going to be down there. Our next show will be next week.
Yes.
We have an opportunity. I'll double check the times. We'll give it out to you as later on as we get going. But for Kyle Houck, I'm JD Jeff Dominic. Until next week, this is 209 Sports, apparently showing up everywhere. Right
We're out of here.
Later.